February the 17th, 2008, a very strong cold front was moving through the South, through Alabama. Warning sirens kept sounding as we stayed close to the computer, listening to updates. And most of the front had gone by, but there was one more strong cell that still had to come through our way. And I got to the computer, and the meteorologist said that they saw strong rotation in this cell. And to tell you the truth, I had a bad feeling. And as most of you know, a tornado blew right by us, missed us, the strongest part of it, by a couple hundred yards. And so people knew that this thing was coming. The sirens were blasting. And so we were very thankful for our community that we had sirens and the type of warnings that we did. But here's my thought. I wonder what kind of reaction we would have had if we were in the path of the tornado and the meteorologists, the media people knew it was coming, but they didn't want to cause us any burden. They didn't want to upset us. So they decided not to share that information. And I believe that there would be a lot of anger. Wait a minute, you knew this thing was coming and you didn't sound the alarm? We have an alarm here in the city. Why didn't you sound the alarm? Well, we didn't want to trouble you. We didn't want to produce fear in you. God talked about this principle a long time ago when people have the responsibility of watching and warning. But if the watchman sees the sword coming and does not blow the trumpet, and the people are not warned, and the sword comes and takes any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity. But his blood I will require at the watchman's hand. So you, son of man, I have made you a watchman for the house of Israel. Therefore, you shall hear a word from my mouth and warn them from me. When I say to the wicked, O wicked man, you shall surely die, and you do not speak to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked man will die in his iniquity, but his blood I will require at your hand. Nevertheless, if you warn the wicked to turn his way, and he does not turn his way, he shall die in his iniquity, but you have delivered your soul. So many people were so thankful for the warning that they had time to prepare for the tornado, and there was a lot of thinking going on. And so the warning got out by siren, by TV, by radio, by the internet. And God said here that if somebody has the capacity to warn and they don't, then there's a fault there. There's a responsibility. To whom much is given, much shall be required. And what the world does not understand is the holiness of God and the justice of God. God must judge sin. And sin is so putrid to God. You and I are down here in this polluted ball, and we ourselves, having sinful flesh and having sin all of our life, we don't see the big deal. But we have never stood before a holy God. We don't understand perfect purity, perfect holiness, perfect righteousness. And when that which is unholy is exposed to that which is holy, the wrath of God comes down on that individual. And Jesus said, I will say to them, depart from me, you workers of iniquity. I never knew you. Now, I want you to know what I am saying to you today is not being preached very much because we want a seeker-friendly gospel. We want people to come in to hear the gospel. We've made the church for people that the church isn't even for. so they will like our Jesus, like our message, and we can tickle their ears and not tell them what they need to know. They need to know the whole counsel of the Word of God.